Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, baby! Drinking Bros Sports Tailgate Legends. Tonight we're going to get rucked up. Rucked is a rugby term, not a swear word, so YouTube algorithm people that are censoring foul language and other things that you don't agree with, you can go get fucked on this one. That was not swearing either.
That wasn't 90 seconds, brother.
Yeah, but it was the get fucked. The get fucked was contextual. It was a contextual swear word set in context, so you can't shadow ban us for that either. You probably will. But anyway, speaking of that, go ahead. If you are just listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, head over to YouTube and give us a subscribe, give us a like, because YouTube has shadow banned the show for lots of swearing and other foul content, taking away our freedoms slowly, but over and over again. So do us a favor, head over there and give us a like and a subscribe. We've got a wild show tonight. The people asked for it. We've got an entire fucking rugby team in here. That's the legend
Squad
we have on
goals.
the show.
Clayton Rugby.
The whole fucking rugby team. We've got Boston Joe over there for sports. Chef Puhak on the grill tonight. Chef Puhak, what are you cooking tonight? It smells amazing as usual.
He's cooking and eating at the same time.
I'm cooking and eating. I'm crunching in the microphone. If you don't like it, get fucked. So here's the deal. I really like Totino's Pizza Bites, and I'm making fish and chips, but I want to talk about this fat-ass fuckery real quick. I've always wanted to fucking fry it, right? So I fried a Totino's Pizza Bite for the first time tonight. Like, I'm super fucking fired. Like, eat it, dude.
You're an innovator.
Mouth. Put it inside of you.
I like it.
I put a couple earlier. So.
Yeah. Do them one at a time. Anyways, this has nothing to do with what I'm cooking. I'm doing the fish and chips with some tilapia. I did a unique marinade with pickle juice and Yingling lager because Yingling's from Pennsylvania and everything great is from Pennsylvania, just like me.
Yeah.
And I made some homemade French fries. I cut up some Idaho potatoes. And I par blanched them, and we can get into that more when we eat later. But I'm gonna fucking stuff your faces with some good food, and it's gonna be fish and chips in honor of rugby. And I believe there's an Irish gentleman in here that used to farm potatoes.
Oh yeah, we've got lots of interesting people coming on the show tonight. First off, right off the bat, Brian Anderson. I don't think we could talk about rugby without talking about Brian Anderson. One, because he likes to talk about rugby. Second, he likes to talk about himself a lot. So welcome to the show, Brian. Rugby.
Thank you for having me.
What is rugby? Tell us a little bit about how did you get into rugby? Where are you from?
So, you want to tell me, I wasn't there when rugby was started, but I can tell you where I started rugby.
Where did you start rugby? Where did you start?
So I got into rugby about the third grade.
Okay.
I got rugby about the third grade. We had a local club back home. I'm from East Hampton, Long Island, in New York, and they took a group of third, fourth graders and got us started with rugby. And then I kind of took like a hiatus. We have like a high school club like they do down here.
Yeah.
So we took a hiatus and, went to the high school. We went and got football and baseball, the major sports we have in America, obviously. And then when college was done or high school was done, kind of looked for something, got back into rugby.
Got back into rugby, and you played for Montauk.
I did. Played for
what
Montauk
the fuck
Rugby
is a
Club.
Montauk?
Sharks.
Montauk Sharks. Where is Montauk at?
Montauk is on the east end of Long Island, the southeast
Wait a minute,
tip.
Montauk, Rhode Island. There is a...
No.
Long Island.
Okay.
Know your islands.
Look,
don't mix this up with Massachusetts, New
there's
England
a lot of stupid accents going on in this room tonight. A lot of people from all over the fucking world. Mm-hmm. And your accents are driving me crazy. Speak American, like a real American. What Montauk though? Isn't there like a conspiracy theory thing on Montauk? There's like some kind of fucked up thing on Montauk
Montauk
Island?
Project.
The Montauk Project. I've read that.
Project.
I'm a huge conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
I don't believe in all of them, but I love to research them. And I do remember reading something about the Montauk.
So
Project.
Montauk Project, we have Camp Hero State Park. So I'm from East Hampton. I'm from Montauk. So Montauk's like a little hamlet of East Hampton. And we have Camp Hero State Park. It was all military base. But during World War II, they wanted to disguise the military base as a commercial fishing village because Montauk's known for their fishing. So they disguised this fishing village, all the soldiers, and they said, hey, you have to wear Hawaiian shirts, almost. You cannot wear soldier uniforms. You have to wear Hawaiian shirts.
See, that's dope.
So we had, you can still drive on there today. You can go right on. There's a church that's disguised as, I believe, the gym. And they have a bowling alley that was actually the military, the barracks, where the soldiers slept. but they can only wear. They couldn't wear soldiers. They had to wear.
And that was like, what was that, World War II?
Yeah, that was after World War II. So you had the bunkers, the anti-aircraft guns. The bunkers are built into the side of the hills. They've taken them out now, but you can still go see them. But they have the radar tower out there. It's the only place you can't go. And it said for the Montauk project, where that's where they did, well, so they say time travel on soldiers returning from war.
Yes, that's what I remember reading.
Like literal
and actually
time
watching
travel.
on the YouTube.
Like
Yes,
time travel.
Yeah, like people would wake up.
So they say they
in
bring
different
soldiers,
eras.
Yeah, they bring soldiers back from war. They tested them for time travel.
Yeah.
What?
So they say.
It's really rad. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and look it up. I'm gonna jump into sponsors because the crowd is already getting loud behind me. I know this is going to be a shit show. I feel so bad for the sponsors that chose to sponsor us tonight, but we've got Alliance Real Estate.
Yeah.
Katie Spaulding, she is an actual rugby player, a female rugby player, and I'm gonna have her on the show later tonight. Alliance Real Estate. She's out of Clayton, North Carolina. Old Katie Spaulding. Oh, there she is. She's beautiful. But hey, don't let her fool you. She is a rugby player, and we're gonna have you on the show later tonight. Because one, when you walked in, I didn't know you were Katie Spaulding, and two, I didn't think you were a rugby player. But here you stand, both.
Eric,
beautiful.
when I start cooking, let's give her my chair.
Yeah, we will. We absolutely will. 100%. Instill Distilling Company, makers of the finest rums in North America, available now in Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida, specifically at this moment. Also, Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando. Definitely want to check those out. Drinking
I
Pros.
can attest to that.
Yes. Wait a minute. You were there when they opened.
I was. Before they opened.
Before they opened.
Yeah.
And you once sat down and tried every drink. I totally forgot till now.
I think I went 4 times through your list.
I think there was like 5 drinks on the list back then.
I think
maybe
that
more.
was the first COVID test.
Was it?
I think so.
You
I
had to
tasted
drink
every single one.
You tasted every single one. You got fucking ripped. I think
did.
your wife was pregnant at the time.
I did. She either was pregnant or
She
didn't even know.
that
She might have not even known
Did
she was
get pregnant that night?
She could have.
Oh, you should have named her Instilica.
I could have.
Yes.
He's a boy, so that'd be kind of awkward.
Whiskeywear.com. Whiskeywear.com. You'll see all the little glasses up here. They do customizable,
Really nice
one-off, no minimum order required premium whiskey glasses. They did a bunch for Clayton Rugby. You guys bought them all up for Christmas. Thank you so much, because I'm part owner in that company. And so you paid for my children's Christmas gifts this year. So thank you guys. But yeah, there's all sorts of great customizable gifts. If you wanted a Montauk Rugby glass, you could call them up right now. You could go on whiskeywear.com. You could design your own Montauk Rugby
That's good to know.
glass just for you. $19.95.
Wow.
Put your fucking name on it. Put your number on the back. Mail it to you in a nice indestructible box. Whiskeywear.com. And of course, we are live again from Copper Still Records.
Amazing.
Copper Still Records. They manage this entire shit show. Our producer, Noel White, and our production manager, producer, I don't get all their fucking titles mixed up. They all tell us what to do and yell at us when we say stupid shit. And they always nod their heads in disappointment.
They make you feel good and bad at the same time.
They do make you feel good and bad at the same time, but they're the reason why we sound beautiful. We look beautiful on camera.
Yeah.
If you need something done as far as getting a video made, or you need some sound recording, any of that stuff, Copper Still Records. If you need management, such as like we do, traveling all over the countryside, having to get flights booked and hotel rooms and but just don't take the managers with you, because they often will get just as fucked up as you are.
More.
And nobody will be Ubering anywhere.
More fuck.
We'll all be standing on the sidewalk waiting for an Uber that's never going to show up because nobody ordered one.
You know what they always remind me of too, Eric? That I'm bald. So with these lights on the set, man, I've gotten texts like, "Bro, put a hat on." Or one time, Buddha literally threw a hat at me, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" When Holt was on, the strongman, he threw a hat at me. I'm like, "I'm not cold." He's like, "It's because the shine on your head is too fucking bright."
Rogan pulls it off. You can pull it off. It's okay.
Bald's beautiful. Fuck off.
Rogan's also got like a 2
Let's
million
glare
together, brother.
Speaking of that.
It's all those U-turns underneath the sheets.
But speaking of Copper Still Records, we'll get Buddha up here shortly for our sportsmen. And I know there's a lot of trade deals, a lot of movement in the NFL. There's a little baseball movement as well. I think we're going to talk about that, but we're going to try to keep it rugby tonight, baby.
Greatest sport on earth.
Is it the greatest sport on earth?
I think so.
Why do you think it's the greatest sport on earth?
I think it's. I mean, I've played just about every sport. I even played cricket.
Did you really?
I did. I played cricket. I lived in the Caribbean for a couple of years. I got a chance to play the cricket. Play the cricket.
Play the cricket.
Play the
Jiminy.
cricket.
You gotta say the old
I
cricket.
did play with Jiminy Cricket himself.
So hold on, you're telling me
He was
that
the bowler.
you've tried every other sport and
I've tried it all.
you found out rugby was the only one you could actually play,
Well, no, I played a lot of sports.
and you failed at all of them, and you wind up playing rugby.
I mean, I was just about mediocre. I mean, it's a matter of perspective.
Listen, your first mistake was bringing up the New York, Rhode Island
here we
thing.
go.
Yeah, now you're my enemy.
Here we go.
Okay.
New York
Let's go-
and
let's get
Pennsylvania.
right
We can get
fucking
into the
it.
Boston, New York
Let's
thing
get
right now.
right. Oh, I would love
Let's go
to.
ahead.
Talking shit
Okay.
about Giants.
Hey, Boston,
Jesus.
BJ, you're about to get your ass kicked.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm from the city of champions.
But here's
okay?
the word. You know
Pummeled.
what a lot of Boston people don't
Yeah,
realize.
exactly. Once you ruck with
Yeah.
them, let's see how you can ruck.
Here,
Get
We're
in
not
there.
talking about rucking. We're
No.
talking about Boston versus
No,
New York.
and
So-
we're not talking about fucking Tom Brady either. So this is like a different situation.
You know what?
Buddha's coming in
the
heavy.
The problem with Boston, the Boston fans, what they don't realize is most of their idols are actually New Yorkers.
Okay, give me one example.
Carl Yastrzemski.
Kyle, yes, Grumpy. So again, I'm 28.
Okay.
We're going to stay within this, last couple decades. We're not going to talk about the 1927
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yankees
They
won
don't like it.
120 games.
Okay.
And Babe
Okay.
Ruth, he was the best. Babe Ruth
Okay.
sucks. I
Let's
talked
go.
about this last show.
Okay.
Wouldn't hit a single pitch in today's era. Boston still is the city of champions, whether you like it or not. You want to talk about a little bit of recency bias. It's helping my argument. But hey, I'm
You're
28 years
champions
old.
because of New Yorkers.
Oh, my God.
Rob Gronkowski,
Buffalo.
New York.
Okay.
Red Auerbach, New
There's
York.
only one team.
Yeah.
There's
Bob
only,
Cousy, New
Gronkowski
York.
was Pittsburgh.
There's only
right,
You can keep
Buddha.
going.
There's only one NFL team that plays in New York, and it's not your team. It's the Buffalo Bills.
I'll give you that.
So your
I'll give
team
you
doesn't
that.
even play in your state. It's fraudulent.
Okay.
That's like if the Pats played in Rhode Island, but we claim them as ours. The Jersey Giants, I call them.
You know what they say? The hardest 5 years of a Red Sox fan's life are, right?
Don't get me started with
Second
the
grade.
Red Sox.
Zing.
I want to defend them, but fuck them. Honestly, I want to defend them, but I can't defend that. I mean, that's
You're a Boston fan. I'm sure you've heard of Nate Ebner.
a little bit. Yeah, he special teams guy for the Patriots and throws this weird looking ball around backwards whenever he gets the chance.
The old rugby
Backwards.
ball. The old
But that's a
rugby
good.
ball.
I mean, so you do know your football. You know your
Phil,
football.
I know my football.
So you know about Nate Ebner if you're playing
I do,
rugby too.
I do.
So from
Going to
watching
Ohio
football,
State, don't like them.
I don't want to hear Saquon Barkley. What I want to hear is who you think in the NFL would translate over to be the best rugby player around.
Ooh, honestly, I don't think anybody.
No.
I don't think anybody. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, but I think guys who play special teams like Nate Ebner, right, who play both sides of the ball and then kind of versatile would be the ones who would translate over because Brady, as great as he is at football, he would suck at rugby.
So he would.
He would.
Honestly, he would.
He would.
Brady would absolutely. He'd probably get cut in half in 2 seconds.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So-
you got to be a man to play rugby.
You do.
Chill.
And honestly,
Chill.
I will say, in my honest opinion, I think rugby has the second greatest professional athletes on earth. And I say professional
After
because
what?
Yeah, you said second.
Well, here I say professional first because I still play rugby and I don't consider myself a great athlete. Okay, these guys behind me, you can see them. They're not great athletes. Okay, they like to drink. And
I was gonna say they can drink with the best of them.
Exactly,
I
they drink
heard.
with the best of them, but we're not great athletes. So professionally, they're the second great. The first, water polo. Those guys are
That's
one
pretty
of the
intense
best.
shit right there.
I mean, swimming, they say, is.
Wait, I was waiting for you to laugh after. You're dead serious? Water
serious.
polo?
Thank you.
Are we
I'm dead
kidding me?
serious.
Water polo?
What do they say is the best full body workout? Swimming, right? These guys have to tread water for how long and then throw that ball through it? I mean,
So then fish are the best athletes in the world, is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Dolphins would just rip it up.
tuna. Think about tuna.
The chicken of the sea?
No.
Tuna will mess you up.
I guess so. They're
Pound
big
for
as fuck.
pound, they're one of the strongest animals in the kingdom.
So I asked who would be the best rugby
Okay,
player
we
out of
got
the
off
NFL,
topic.
and we're talking about fucking tuna.
We did. We got
These
off
rugby
topic.
guys, they get smoked in the
He's
head
got-
more than they
he's
let
got
you know.
fish and chips
the
on the
greatest
buddy.
thing to come out of Boston was the show Wicked Tuna, right? So I just
True,
trying to,
true. I knew a guy
trying
was
to
on that
help you
show,
there.
actually, as a painter.
So I honestly, it's a completely different game.
Tim
So
Tebow.
You'll see.
I think Tebow would
Tim
be a
Tebow
beast.
would have fucking crushed at
He
rugby.
would have been a beast.
Maybe.
Because rugby's all about heart, and you got to do it all. You got to be able to run, you got to be able to smash, you got to be able to tackle, you got to be able to kick. Fucking Tim Tebow could do it all. Don't like the guy, hate him,
Shout out to
whatever.
Tim
He would've
Tebow.
been a
Come on the
fucking
show.
Perfect.
Who just retired from
Rugby
professional
player.
baseball.
Yeah, that was just a fun little excursion.
I don't
But you
believe
go to
that.
the Mets, what do you expect?
I know that.
The scumbag
Hey, where did the Mets
Mets
play?
Never. Who cares?
Did somebody just ice you?
Hey, we're
New York.
They handed.
If you get iced, you better fucking do it,
Ice,
man.
ice,
Well,
baby.
They didn't open the ice. So
I mean,
whoever
you're a
fucking
rugby
iced
guy.
it,
Open it with your teeth. Isn't that what those
I'll
guys
open it with my fucking.
He
There
He
you
just
go.
fucking opened it with his teeth.
Don't tell anyone it's a twist off.
If you're following us on YouTube,
Wow, you fucking housed
He
that
is
shit on
housing
camera.
the ice.
Wow, all
You
right.
That's
can't
how
turn
it's
down
done.
being iced.
That's how it's done. in
Eli
rugby.
Manning could do better.
And that's why I'm missing 2.5 teeth. Honestly, Eli Manning probably could. And if Eli Manning wasn't married, I'd probably marry him myself.
Hey.
I love that man.
Oh yes, he's a beautiful,
He is
handsome.
You'd find the horseshoe up
Patriot
his ass
killer.
if you did.
Patriot killer. I
Oh,
mean,
my God.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
You would?
Yes.
I'd rather be the GOAT like Brady
I'd
is.
rather be lucky than good. I'd rather be lucky than good. At all
It's
times.
hard to argue
But-
that, though. I want
Well,
to,
we can
but
go back
I
to
kinda
original.
can't.
So back to original question. Who would translate?
I think
mean,
Aaron Donald would be a beast.
No, I mean, I don't.
He's
think so.
quick. He's huge. I mean,
But
I think he's
here's the-
versatile enough to do
here's
anything.
The thing. So the difference between, excuse me, that one gave me a little.
Yeah,
Yeah, just let it out, baby. Burp in that microphone. Throw up on that
I just
microphone.
recently had a kid, so this is my first time out in a while. I mean, I'm having
Hey, wait a minute. Who'd you have a kid with?
my wife.
Yeah. Where'd you meet her?
My wife? Question?
Where'd you meet her at? The
I
rugby
did-
pitch?
So I met her actually. I met her at Clayton's first ever playoff
Yeah.
game.
Was she dating another rugby team member at the time or no?
Get cucked?
Yeah, well,
Did someone get cucked?
I'm just gonna say this. I'm a method actor.
yeah.
I'm a method actor.
What is a method actor?
So when we take on the persona of someone else,
Yeah.
we fully take it on. We go full in.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave it at that.
You
I'm
went
a
all
method
in on
actor.
her. You went
I
all in. You got her
So
preggers.
I played under a different persona.
Yeah.
And I went all in for method actor.
Dude, well, you know what? You impressed me.
Thank you.
I would have carried your baby. And we're glad
tried
you
that.
came out
We
tonight
tried
to
that.
get a little bit fucked up with us.
No, someone's got to watch the kids.
Are you watching the kids tonight?
I'm back there somewhere, right?
I am. I think they're somewhere. I think they're somewhere. I think actually Gareth is watching them.
Are you talking about my kids?
Oh, your kids.
Oh, are your kids here?
My kids?
My kids are here.
Are you gay?
Are you? Yeah, baby.
So honestly, back to the question. I think.
We still haven't answered this question.
No,
That's
he's
the
still
question. We
This
can-
is a
fucking
fucking
typical New Yorker.
15-minute question, dude.
So honestly, no one, because it's a completely different game. You have even the best of running backs. If you can go back to, I mean, if you take Saquon, like you were saying,
He is a
they'll
beast,
break.
I mean.
He's a beast, and even Ezekiel Elliott, a beast. They'll break off a 60-yard run, then they'll tap their head. They got to come out of the game.
Sure,
Rugby,
sure.
you need to break off a 50-yard run. If you turn that ball over, you need to get back on defense,
Yeah.
ready to play defense. I mean, you're taking guys who
Rugby
need to
is
be-
such a faster game.
It is.
It's such a faster game. When you're watching rugby, if you watch rugby for 2 or 3 episodes and you go back to trying to watch football, it's almost a sleeping moment.
It
You know,
is.
it's like you're like, oh my god, why is it so fucking?
It's a lot of
slow?
stop and start. Stop
A lot
and
of
start.
stop and start.
You're
Rugby, it's 80 minutes, 40-minute halves. Once you come off the field, you can't go back on unless it's to get stitches. Then you can, right? You can
Yeah,
go
I
back.
feel
if
like you
it's-
guys go way harder than football, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have to
100%.
Way harder.
Oh, and everything from football came from rugby too.
The easiest way to put it is you have to take the being in shape of a soccer player. You look at these soccer players. These soccer players are so in shape.
Run. Yeah.
Run. So you have to take being in shape like a soccer player, being able to run like that, but being able to tackle like a football player.
Yeah.
Without pads.
Yeah.
So you're trying to incorporate 2 different things. Then you have to be able to pass like a quarterback and kick like a punter.
And you always got to stay
I mean,
aware.
it's incredible.
'Cause
It's really
on the
incredible.
field, you can get the ball at any moment.
Any
A
moment.
ball can be kicked anywhere on the field, and you got to be ready. I mean, it's at all times you have to be ready to go. It's not like in
Head on a
football where it's
swivel.
like, okay, I'm the O-line. I blocked for my quarterback. He threw the ball. Now I can just stand around and fuck
More
off.
specialized, where in rugby you got to do it all.
You got to do it all.
Look,
baby.
look. I don't sports as hard as you guys. I'm just the chef. But to me, it seems like rugby players are more dynamic athletes because of all the shit that you guys do.
Absolutely.
On the field.
They're just not like centralized or specialized.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have
you
one
guys are like the
kicker.
fucking special forces.
It is 40
Yeah.
minutes to start the game. You have a 5-minute break, and you have 40 minutes to end the game.
5 minutes. So it's a 5-minute halftime?
5-minute halftime. I mean,
Jesus,
if you're talking about what like Clayton Rugby plays, you're maybe a 5-minute halftime. You come over. If you're me, you grab a beer on the sideline.
There you go.
Okay. If you're most other people, you get talked to by the coach. I like to grab a beer to get me back in the game.
Because you're perfect.
I mean,
He's got nothing to coach you
from
on.
your lips to God's ears.
No, if you were a Giants fan, you would drink that much too.
Gosh, this guy's gonna. This
Fair
is
enough.
great.
Fair enough.
I gotcha.
Fair enough.
Eric Tansey, I'm gonna start cooking, baby. Let's get somebody in my
Let's
seat.
do it, baby.
man.
Let's get
somebody in my seat.
Stuart from Ireland over there. We've got two fucked up. Two fucked up.
You know what I'm gonna do for you, Stuart? I'm gonna join your buddy's trend, and I'm gonna open a beer for you.
Don't crack a tooth.
Oh,
Wow, that
there
was
it
good on
is.
the sound. That was crispy.
That was crisp. Drinking that Guinness over there in honor of Stu.
Well, I want to
that
ask the
sound
real
doesn't
Irishman:
turn you
is
on.
Guinness some bullshit, or you guys really
Sound
drink
of
that
a fresh
shit?
open beer doesn't turn
No,
you on.
we do. So,
You
like, I feel like you talk to Australians, you're like, you drink Foster's? You're like, no. You speak to whoever. You speak to Irish people, you drink Guinness? Yeah, we drink Guinness.
So then the potato thing's not a cliche either. You guys really love your potatoes.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Stu, would you say Guinness or Magners?
Oh, Guinness.
Oh, God.
Magners is so sweet, man.
Look, this show's already going down the tubes because nobody's going to be able to understand anything that any of you guys are saying.
Says you. Says the guy from Florida.
I don't have an accent. I speak beautifully and perfectly every single time. Well-articulated human being.
Well articulated. Yeah.
You play something other than rugby, don't you, Stu? What is that other fucking game you play? Like Australian
Aussie
basketball?
rules, a bit of footy.
What is it?
Aussie rules football.
What is that?
It's kind of like it's most like Gaelic football, but I suppose you wouldn't know what that is either.
No, absolutely not. I don't know anything gay. Lick.
Yeah, so imagine rugby, but you kind of kick the ball more often.
So it's like a combination of
Yeah,
a
but,
hybrid of soccer and football, rugby type
Yeah,
thing?
I kind of got into it when I came over here, but my favorite thing about it is the fact they call it stiff arm, but don't argue.
Don't argue. That's what. Well, Tansy was
Don't
telling
argue,
me before
mate.
about the don't argue. That's because you're just shutting them the fuck up and putting your hand in their face, and
That's
you-
it.
Yeah, that's okay.
How did you get into rugby, Stu?
I lived 2 minutes from my local rugby club. My dad was big into rugby, still is, and just been playing since I was 8 years old.
And then you came to the United States. Like, this is a crazy fucking story. You come to the United States. Tell us that whole story about how you met your best friend.
Yeah, so we were actually on tour with our local club. Shout out to Dungannon Rugby Club, Northern Ireland. And we were in New Jersey, and he met his now wife, who was visiting a friend from Clayton, North Carolina. And after the social after the game, they met up, and he moved over here a month before I did, but I came over here for a completely different reason, for work. And I found out shortly after I moved that he was 45 minutes from me, so that's why we both play for Clayton.
I mean, what are the fucking odds? Like, of all the places in the world, you guys get teamed up in little tiny Claytona Beach,
Claytona
North Carolina,
Beach, baby.
playing rugby together. I always love that story. It's always a beautiful story of two best friends coming together.
I thought I was your best friend.
Brian, nobody is your best friend. But when you talk about rugby social, for those of you out there who are listening who don't know what a rugby social is, anywhere in the world at any level of play, the hosting team has to provide food and beverage for the opposing team. And so you play 80 minutes of all-out. He just chugged 2 drinks that were made with a lot of rum.
And he wants them
He's
away
going
from him
down
right away.
soon. He's like, get the fuck out.
Me, dude.
I don't know.
But anyway, at the end of the game, it's all-out combat
teammates
for
don't take
80
away
minutes,
drinks.
and then you go back and you have a social, and there's a lot of drinking. There's a lot of. Are you guys going to do a
100%.
boat race or something tonight too? There's
the
a lot of
plan.
boat
That's the
racing,
plan.
a lot
Boat
of
race.
drinking.
You want to talk about the partying after the game? I got a good
Yes.
story on
Let
that.
me hear it. Let me hear it, baby.
So, back in the day,
Back in the day.
when I was knee high from a grasshopper.
Okay.
Okay. When I played for Montauk Rugby, we played a game against Newport, Rhode Island, right?
Okay.
So it was kind of like a yearly thing. We'd host and they host, we host and they host. So it was our turn to host.
Okay.
Right? And so they came over, we played a match, great time, we all had fun. Just what happens, I mean, I think I was my first year out of college or second year out of college. My parents are away that weekend.
Okay.
And if you come across to Long Island, you have to take the boat. A lot of these teams made a weekend trip. So they made a weekend trip, and we went to the drink up, like you said. We have the food, we have the spread, we have the drinks. And after that, they said they're going back to the hotel. I said, no. My parents are away this weekend. Here's my address. Come over to the house.
Oh,
so
shit.
we had the entire Newport rugby team come over to the house. We had a Montauk, a Newport, Rhode Island house party.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to leave it. But
How did that go?
weird.
They fuck up your parents' house?
No, I mean, I wasn't worried about Newport. I was worried about my own teammates.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
How'd it get weird?
Some of the worst people.
Come on, it's Drinking Bros Sports. There's nothing weird on this show.
Yeah, but
An
I have a
orgy
career.
broke out.
Huh?
Well, my
Group
job, I'm going to leave it
sex?
at that. I'm
They
gonna,
get
I'm just gonna leave it. We'll leave it to your imagination.
Did it get gay?
Well, I got a
What's your
question on all
imagination?
that.
Oh my God.
The whole,
What's your imagination?
you guys just
Maybe
like
I
party
don't.
together after. I think that's cool. Like there's some
Yeah.
camaraderie there. There's some
We're all- what sport
sportsmanship.
could you do that?
But I mean, again, I've played at a very low level, but I've played some sports. And after the games, I want to kill some of those people.
Fair enough.
Are there times where fights break out where you fucking
Absolutely.
hate this guy across from you, and then you go end up getting a drink, and you're like, you know what, fuck you? Or do you guys just, you know what? Who gives a fuck? Let's drink some beer, drink some Guinness, and have a good old grand old day.
You step on the field, it's a battle. 80 minutes of battle. We went to Bantam, New Jersey. I had my head split open. I had to get 9 stitches in my head from a knee to the head on purpose. And we go to the drink up afterwards.
Sorry about that.
And it's okay, Stu. It's okay. So we go to the drink up afterwards, and the guy came up to me and said, "Hey, that was my bad. I apologize. Here's a beer. Hand me a beer." So I think rugby is a lot of respect, both on and off the field. Even when you're on the field, you have kind of one referee on the field, and
I think it's great
you
that the
respect
referee,
that as well.
you have to call him sir.
Absolutely. You call him
Whether it's
sir.
a guy or
There's actually
girl.
31
right?
referees on the field.
No matter what.
And
Yeah.
rugby's always been woke. Like, they've always had females. Like, I love how football is like, oh, we have the first female referee ever, which she sucked, by the way. Ruined that
Ross
game.
loved her.
Boy, she was terrible. But rugby's always had females kind of refereeing on the games and always on the field, but you still call her sir.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to argue, or you immediately get ejected.
It's respect.
It's a complete respect.
100%.
And that's why I always say, like, rugby is very friendly and violent. And you know, it's let's crush each other and then let's bring each other back up. Stu, listen, you're like the god of destruction. Brian Anderson, he plays the fly half on the field, and so Brian likes to throw the ball a lot. He's not going to take a bunch of licks if he doesn't have to. But Stu, you're a guy that delivers every time. Lots of stiffies, lots of arguments, just murdering people. You ever fucking crush somebody's soul, baby?
I think you've witnessed it a few times, Tanzi.
I think I felt it a few times for sure. If Stu's coming anywhere near me, I get rid of the ball. What's your favorite social story? You got any socials over there?
That's a very good question. So actually, Brian was talking about Newport, Rhode Island. I had a similar experience to what he was just saying. We'd been playing somebody. I think it was in Boston.
Never heard of it.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. So we were staying for some reason in Rhode Island. We went back to the hotel afterwards, and we decided to go out to, I think it might have been happy hour at TGI Fridays or something.
I gotta stop you. You go to Boston. You go to Boston. You go to TGI Fridays.
Somewhere where the tourists go, you know.
Oh Jesus!
But anyway,
I think it's a 5-star restaurant in Boston, actually, it's TGI Fridays.
we met these folks, and
I'll wait till later for that one. Sorry, proceed.
so we had took full advantage of the happy hour. Went back to a house party. There was a lad there who was getting up at 6 a.m. or something to go and catch lobsters or something.
Gloucester fisherman.
So me and a few lads who hadn't had any sleep got up at 6 a.m. We'd promised him when we were drunk that we would go and help him at his work at 6 a.m. catching lobsters. So we were there at 6 a.m.
Stop.
Trying
Are
to
you
catch
serious?
lobsters.
You really did it?
We did it.
You didn't bullshit
I mean, we
him?
did it for about 15 minutes, and then we realized this was a fucking terrible
Have you
idea.
ever had lobster?
I have had, yeah. I've had Connecticut style, though. So.
Do they have TGI Fridays in Ireland?
Yeah, they do, actually, yeah.
Are you fucking serious? They really do? Oh, shit.
Why are we talking about TGI?
Stu, you ever had...
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
I haven't been to
You wanna
TGI
sponsor
Fridays.
us, I mean.
Look, I'm 37 years old. I haven't been to TGI Fridays since I was in fucking high school. Nor will I ever go back. What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Stu, do you guys eat a lot of fish and chips in Ireland?
Yes, we do, yeah. Traditionally
really?
an English dish, but, you know, I feel like you guys don't do it very well over here, no offense.
We don't? What
you're about
do
to
we not
find
do?
out.
What don't we do well about it?
Well,
Chef Puhak's
I
about to
went,
change your mind real quick.
I got some fish and chips one time here, and it was like Cajun seasoned.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll keep an eye on you.
You didn't like the Cajun seasoning.
Cannot
In Ireland, do they still serve it in the newspaper?
Yeah, so you want it in the newspaper, you want it very bland. You know, you maybe even some salt. Maybe.
You know what's really funny about the
It's
old
important that it's bland.
the fish and chips thing? Did you know that originally in the early 1900s it started over as like a leftover dish for blue collar workers? It was like the leftover fish from the market. They would hand it out for like almost free as 4 pence. 4 pence. I don't know what 4 pence is because I'm American, and we go by the fucking greatest currency on earth, Bitcoin. But
It's Doge.
But you know,
Doge.
for
coin.
very little pences, you could get some fish and chips. They would get the leftover fish and they would take it home, and they would fry it up and they would eat it with their fingers. You didn't eat it with silverware.
Yeah, because it wasn't fresh anymore, so it stank. They had to batter it and fry it. Now it's
Why don't you use silverware? Like, why does everybody eat fish and chips with their fingers?
because it just tastes better.
Because you're too fucking poor to buy over in
They
Ireland.
serve
Too
it in
fucking
newspaper,
poor,
right?
Huh?
You know why they serve it in a newspaper, right?
No, I don't. Tell me.
No one has to read anyway.
What?
They don't know how to read anyway.
Oh, damn.
Shots are fired.
Getting racial tonight. Shitting on Ireland. We got some other fucking. What's that? So fish and chips in Ireland. Do you have a favorite fish and chips place here in the United States?
I haven't found one yet.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's about to be now, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chef Puhak, if anybody can change your mind, it'll be Chef Puhak. Chef Puhak, why don't you jump back over on that mic? Or unless are you still cooking?
I'm not gonna fuck this food up.
Okay, we're gonna get Stu. Jump out of there really quick. Let's get Travis Morrison over here. This guy's big as fuck. He's bigger than life. Absolutely a monster of a human being. Travis Morrison, everybody. Travis, what do you go for these days, baby?
Say again?
What are those stats over there? What's your size? What's your weight? What's your waistline?
6'5", 250.
6'5", 250.
No, that's not what we're asking.
We're not talking about
What's
your
your
dick
stat size, man?
About 7.
Yeah.
That's it?
Oh, 7.
Come on.
Shit,
Yeah,
7.
You gotta keep it on
Shadow
balance.
came over me. Right
Man,
You got to tape it to your leg when you play?
What's that?
You got to tape it to the side of your leg when you play, just in case?
Definitely not. Go over.
Travis, you've
Dude,
got
he's not
scar-
Brady.
One
He's not Brady. Leave him alone.
You admitted Brady has a huge dick right now
No, I
on camera.
didn't.
I do
Steelers
not.
fan says
No.
Brady's packing.
Dude, that's fucking
He
retarded.
he just said it.
there's
He's not
something
I was gonna
wrong.
say I don't
No.
let Travis around my wife.
None of them are
wouldn't
any.
We're gonna put it that way. I don't let Travis around my wife.
He's no Huey Lewis.
Listen, for those of you guys who aren't tuning onto the YouTubes, Travis Morrison looks like a fucking Viking. He's got long blonde hair. He kind of looks like Clay Matthews, but with a lot more scars on his face. You got any cool stories to go behind those scars?
I got a couple scar stories, man.
You've got a fucking face full of scars. You look like something out of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there was one I got from playing rugby, and there's a couple of broken nose stories. There was a time, actually, I'm pretty sure this one came from rugby right on the top of my noggin. I don't remember what time, though. But there's another time I got my nose broken in the middle of a match by Southern Pines.
Oh, SoPi.
Yeah, SoPi
Speaking of
came alongside.
SoPi, we've got one of the drinking bros, Corey Jones, played for SoPi. He now plays professionally in Houston. Look him up on, for all you drinking bros, look up Corey Jones. He was with us in Austin. But anyway, sorry. He plays for SoPi. Just reminded me of the story.
Man.
So you're playing SoPi.
That's all right. So we were playing SoPi, and it was a pretty rough match. It was a violent group of guys. We were a violent group of guys. We were having a good old time. Like I said, throwing down on the field. And on one of the restart, the kickoffs, I chased a guy down and I tackled him, right? And all his boys jumped on the back of my head. And
That's because you're the biggest motherfucker on the field. I mean,
Right,
that's what
so
you do.
I think I was one of them.
Yeah, man, it was wild, man. So they jumped on the back of my head. My head smacked into the dude's head, and I hit my eye socket. I thought I broke my eye socket. I was pretty concerned for a minute.
Sorry.
Yeah, and
For a minute.
it actually worked out really well because it turns out that a lot of guys in Southern Pines are military guys. So one guy came over and he looks down at me. He goes, "Hey man, is your nose always fucked up like that?" It's like, "I don't think so, boss." So he just reached down. He goes, "I need you to hold still for a second," and he pops it back in place right on the field for free. It was fantastic.
Shit.
He did it spot on perfectly, man.
My eyes are watering right now.
It was spot on perfect. So obviously I had to stop playing that game, but it made a
Listen, who's your favorite rugby player?
Sebastian Chabal, man. I used to watch
Of course,
him.
the fuck it is. Sebastian Chabal. You look like him.
The
You're a little bit
caveman.
prettier because you have Sebastian Chabal is probably about the same size as you, right?
Yeah.
He's
I would
big
say
as
he is,
shit.
But he's French.
Yeah.
But I still respect him.
He's French, but he looks like a Man, I don't even know. Like, but he's got like the darker haired Viking version.
He's a caveman.
He's the caveman.
He's a caveman. Yeah, that's what he looks like, a caveman. There we go. That's why they named him the caveman.
I
touche.
would watch Sebastian Chabal before every match to kind of get my head in the zone.
Look, is it harder tackling littler guys? You know, because like when you're on the field, everybody's smaller than you. And in rugby, you have to tackle below the nipples. Is it hard for you to get that low? Smoking somebody?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It really can be. But
Bring it.
I'd say the harder part is catching them. So that's the trick. My job doesn't usually involve tackling small guys. That's not where I am. So
you're lining up big guy to big guy, and that's where your focus
most of the time it's hard collisions with the big.
Do you get a hard on when you finally get to fuck one of those small dudes up?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, every single time.
And they feel every single inch of it.
I hold on. Yeah, I always get a penalty for some reason.
Look, I remember when I first started playing rugby, and we'd always have to do tackling drills, and I was always real quiet and shy because I was a new guy on the team, and they would say, "Hey guys, line up," and everybody knew it was tackling drill time, and so everybody would kind of pick somebody equally their size, and I'd always be left with whoever's left. And of course, nobody fucking picked Travis because he's big as fuck. And so I would always be stuck with you in the beginning of me playing rugby. And when he picks you up, even when he tackles you, like when he's not trying, he's still dropping you from like 3 stories up. So it was like the whole tackling drills, I was just getting nothing but the life beat out of me. And at one point he said, "Hey man, where's all this fucking blood coming from?" Because he was covered in blood and he thought he was cut, and it was all the blood coming from me. Yeah. Because he had fucking dropped me so many fucking times. My elbows were bleeding, my knees were bleeding. I felt like Rocky, and it was like week 1. I knew I wasn't going to last very long going up against Travis. But Travis, you are big as fuck. You got anything else for us, baby? You got any other good stories?
Well, I got a question for you.
I got a couple tansy stories.
You got a tansy story?
I got a tansy story. Go ahead, man.
Well, you guys were just talking about tackling, and again, I was a football guy, not a rugby guy.
Turned on.
I couldn't tackle for shit. Turned on by tackling.
Oh, Red Sox fan, tackling man.
Dude, you were a tackling dummy.
My bad.
I was a tackling. No, I was a
That's all
tackling
you
dummy.
were, was a fucking
Trust me.
tackling dummy.
I couldn't tackle for shit. I didn't. I was a pretty boy quarterback. I just wanted to throw touchdowns and get the ladies.
You look
But
like a quarterback.
No,
Yeah,
it didn't
I know.
work.
Kinda got
It
the-
did not work.
no, I played Division III high school football. That was the highest level.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is when you're a big dude like you, right? In football, at least, low man wins. You got the pads, and it's all different and everything. But fundamentals almost gets thrown out of the window nowadays. Everyone's just trying to smoke the next guy with their helmets and their pads.
Yeah, I've been there.
With rugby, I feel like you need the fundamentals, and it might be, you can tell me otherwise, but it might be tougher for a big guy like you because, low man wins. You got to get that leverage, low center of gravity.
Yeah.
That way you can stop that guy. Because in rugby, it seems to me like you really got to form tackle, you really got to wrap up rather than just using your pads as a weapon type deal.
Man, that is such a good point that I learned the hard way a couple times because I grew up playing football too.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't get into rugby until I was in my late 20s. In Clayton, actually, I just met a guy at the gym wearing a Clayton rugby shirt, and the rest is history. So I learned how to play. I learned how to tackle in football, and I tried to apply that a couple times in full speed rugby matches. Ended up with a couple concussions.
Yeah.
So generally football, the way I grew up was put your head across the body. So there's one that comes to mind was we were in a match, and they were doing a restart, and they got I won't go into how it works, but the point is he's coming full speed ahead, And finally, we get to go, and this guy is clearly my guy to take out, right? It's on the freaking try line. Try line, for everybody who doesn't know, is essentially the end zone. And so he and I just collide full speed, and I did the football tackle right across his body. Buddy, I got knocked stupid. Where it was right before halftime. We went into halftime. We're in the huddle, and my coach is looking at me. I guess I had like the Tweety birds going around, the googly eyes. He's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, absolutely." He's like, "Get the hell off the field, just get out of here."
Literally not silly.
Right. So no, you're dead on, man. You definitely have to learn how to get the fundamentals down. And as goofy as that sounds,
you
hit 'em right.
probably have the best perspective playing both sports. I mean, it seems to me like rugby is like the most purest form of football in the sense that us, dudes who grow up playing football know it, where, like you were just talking about, where we're not taught fundamentals. We just get the guy down and move on, whereas with rugby, you definitely have to know that shit, or you will get your fucking
In football, when you're running full speed and you've got pads on, you can have a collision at full speed because you're protected. But at rugby, when you're running full speed and you collide with somebody, you don't have any pads on. So if I hit you as hard as I can, that's still harder than it's going to hurt me. Like, it's going to hurt me just as much.
Absolutely. Did you see they did a sports science episode on there? You remember that sports science?
Yeah, John
You are
Brinkus.
slurring so much.
Absolutely.
Brinkus.
I've been drinking
Fuck
since 3
me.
o'clock this afternoon.
You're not even looking at
So
me.
have you ever seen that sports
Typical New York
science?
guy,
we have.
motherfucker.
We've seen the sports side. Tell me about it.
Typical married guy. Gets away from his kids. Wants to have fun. Yeah. So the sports science episode, they had football versus rugby. And in football, you have the pads. The pads absorb the contact. So it took the contact and they dispersed amongst the pads, right? Mm-hmm. In rugby, if you're going to hit someone with your shoulder, all that contact went on your one shoulder.
That's right.
So that was the difference. It's the pound of force that comes at you. It's more in football. But in rugby, it's more centralized.
Yeah, I would be curious to see how they kind of match up what are the usual injuries in rugby as opposed to football. Obviously, football's got the CTE,
Rugby's like rugby's superficial. Like it's a lot of bleeding, it's a lot of getting cuts, but it's all superficial injuries. Whereas like football, there's like a lot of like long-lasting, impactful injuries, blown ACLs and stuff like that. Because when you're form tackling, you're not spearing somebody in the fucking kneecap.
The helmet's a weapon.
I mean, I've hit somebody in the knees before, and let me tell you, when you don't have a helmet on and you take a knee to the fucking teeth, I mean, you're laying on the ground going, fuck, I'm not doing that again because I'm not going to be able to do it.
I'll tell you.
Keep these teeth.
4 years of high school football, I've lost 2 teeth.
Okay.
2.5 teeth, actually.
Okay.
And had probably 3 concussions. In about 8 years of men's club rugby, I've had 9 stitches. I'd rather have the 9 stitches than the concussions every day.
Absolutely, 100%.
And in rugby, everything's in front of you.
Look, Travis.
Everything's in front of you.
Yes.
And in
yeah,
football,
nobody's smoking you from behind. Yeah.
Using, like you said, using the helmet and the pads as a weapon. Mm-hmm. And rugby, you have to form tackle. You have to use your arms. And if you don't, when you're a tackler, you have to protect yourself at the same time as the guy running at you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And in football, I can use my helmet. You don't see me coming. I'm using my helmet as a weapon.
Yeah. And ear hole you and knock you the fuck out. But you can't do that in rugby because you'll get thrown off the field. Travis, listen, the guys behind me, they said that you had a big injury, something that never happens to rugby players because rugby players are generally very badass and manly. But you went out. Tell us about this time. Did you get stretched off cramps or something? What happened with this?
Oh,
somebody just literally whispered in my ear, said, "Ask him about the cramps." Devastating injury.
So that was actually I had to go to the gynecologist for severe vaginal cramping for that one. Yeah.
And that's self-deprecating, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone was there. So here's the story. So this was this is the first. So this is a match in August. So we're playing a full 15s match in August. Anybody doesn't know, full 15s is 40 minutes, halves, generally going the whole time, 5-minute halftime. And since our backs can't seem to hold on to the ball,
slow it down.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna slow it down. The point is,
the brakes.
The point is, our backs can't hold on to the ball. So we had to do several scrums. And so after scrumming several times in 95-degree, 120% North Carolina humidity, we finally finished our 80-minute match, had a good old time. And I remember at the end of the match, I was like, man, I would tell my legs to go, and they just wouldn't go. So we got out. I drank a beer with Manesh, and sat down for a minute. And I remember an old coach was like, hey, man, we got B-side coming up. We need a guy. You playing? I was like, absolutely not, man. And was feeling a little funny. Went to stand up, and literally, it was wild.
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually scared.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, it started in my calves, and like every single muscle in my body started to freaking seize. Like, yeah, we call it cramps, we can make the LeBron James references and all that sort of stuff. Having to get carted off the court, But my whole body seized up and was like just squeezing as hard as it could, and it kept lasting. It lasted at least half an hour, and the trainer couldn't get it to calm down, and like I couldn't grab a drink because all my muscles were cramped and seized up. So people were like feeding me bananas. There's a joke in there somewhere, I'm sure. Rugby I'm not entirely sure everything.
People were doing everything. I mean, you had people feeding you bananas, people fucking massaging muscles.
These were the saltiest bananas I have ever eaten.
Must be from Boston.
Yeah.
Did they try My Doll?
Huh?
Did they try My Doll? Did that work?
No, that didn't work. Yeah, that's what. So the gynecologist hooked me up with that afterward. So what ended up happening is someone called an ambulance, right? So No, it gets better. It gets better. Trust me.
Ambulance for your cramps?
I'm 100%, man. So you know what? I was okay with it because I was kind of wishing someone would just go ahead and shoot me. Like we live in Clayton, North Carolina. So
Put him down. Put him down.
Right. Someone could have taken care of the business if they
The horse's leg is broken. Put him the fuck down.
Get rid of this waste of space. So as I'm lying on the ground screaming in pain and writhing around, the ambulance pulls up. And so the ambulance pulls up with two, and this is, I'm all about gender equality and everything, but these were two 90-pound women that got out of this ambulance. Right? And
we are not going to fucking pick this guy up.
So that's essentially what happened.
And none of us were going to help
turns
either.
Out none of my asshole friends would help him out.
We're like, you're cramping out like a little bitch.
It was hilarious.
You walk off this field like a man.
5-minute beer halftime, like I told you.
That's right. So, get in for B-side. So, so they come over and they're trying to get me on this. I can't help them because I can't move. And they're trying to get me on the stretcher to get me in this ambulance. And it just wasn't happening. So no shit, the ambulance drivers called the fire department. And that's legit what happened.
It was the biggest
Get some real
scene.
men in here.
It was really funny, because we're all rugby players. We're supposed to be giants, and we're, giants amongst men. And here we got the fire department and two little EMS girls trying to pick up fucking Goliath himself, who's cramping out like a little bitch. Speaking of bitches, female rugby is the most fun version of rugby to watch. Like if you're watching female sports, female basketball, whatever, nobody watches it. The ratings are there to show you that nobody watches it. Soccer, maybe. Still, I would argue that you look at those ratings compared to men's soccer. But women's rugby actually gets fucking decent ratings, and that's because there's some bad bitches.
It's because they're violent.
They are violent. They're violent as fuck, man. Georgia Page, one of my favorite athletes of all time. I watch her show. You said you watched Sebastian Chabot for every match. I watch Georgia Page just because she's a fucking. She would never cramp out ever. Cramp out in a match. But let me get this. Katie Spalding, this beautiful real estate agent. Who just happens to play rugby. I knew we were going to have a female rugby player here. I knew we were going to have a real estate agent. Did not know this was what it was going to look like. Or B, why don't you take old fucking Goliath's seat over there, kick that brood out.
I'll sit on the spot. That's okay.
Because I bet you,
I did not volunteer for this.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did.
This podcast went to Pornhub real fast.
This podcast fucks.
Well, send us over to...
This podcast fucks.
Listen, Boston and New York
what's going on, Katie
right
Spalding? So you're a real estate agent.
Next.
For one time.
Real estate agent, absolutely. 15 years.
You look like a real estate agent.
Like a real estate agent tonight.
You do. You look like one. What is the what's the real estate agency you work for, or what is your real estate agency?
Oh gosh, so I have started a firm.
They're gonna fire you after this show, but go ahead.
Right. Well,
Join the
myself,
club.
right? Right. So I've done something completely different in Johnston County. I've started a boutique real estate firm that is run as a nonprofit.
Oh shit.
And our firm does not collect any commission. So we are completely different. Yes, there are no splits with agents.
Goodness gracious. What made you start that?
Right. All agents keep all their commissions. So I have been an agent for 15 years in this area and felt like it was time for something new and something different. And I did not want to make money off of other people's clients that I've never seen or met or was part of the transaction. So
that's fucking
brand new.
Did you get that because you got rocked in the head too many times in rugby and you were just like,
Maybe.
fuck?
Exactly.
Let's go. So you played women's rugby, right?
Absolutely, yes. Cherry bombs.
Cherry bombs.
Cherry bombs.
Oh, Jesus. Have you ever seen the Georgia Page video?
Yes.
Georgia Page, for those of you who don't know, Georgia Page, she was a college athlete. Now she's a professional rugby athlete.
Australian.
Australian now, but I think she's from America, right?
No idea who she is.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Georgia Page.
the teeth,
My wife
does she
might
have
be
teeth
watching.
now?
I don't know her.
Well, there's
she
a
get her teeth
famous
fixed?
video of her playing college rugby here in the United States. She just gets fucking fucked right in the face by some bigger chick. She gets up, she makes 3 or 4 tackles, she stands up, her eyes instantly blackened, blood everywhere. She looks at the camera, spits out her fucking teeth. One, she's gorgeous, even without teeth. She spits out all this blood and teeth,
Right.
and fucking gets right back into the game.
Not having teeth might help.
It might be one of the most famous rugby
I was
videos
thinking.
on the interwebs. Georgia Page, go follow her on Instagram. Send her a message, tell her you heard about her on Drinking Bros Sports Tailgate Legends. But it's one of the most famous rugby videos out there, and it's a chick Fucking taking one in the face, like
My hero.
like a real star, not a porn star, but a real athlete.
I know
star.
exactly who you're talking about, but if my wife is watching, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, the way you're articulating sounds like that rum is talking to your wife right now.
And still.
That's right, baby. I love it. Well,
I just got to say though, real quick, if women can play rugby, it's not a real sport. Sorry, you don't see any. You don't see. You don't see female professional football players. It's funny how
yeah,
that
you
works.
do, and they play in panties.
See what I say,
and it's
So we need
disgusting.
to tackle
That doesn't count. We don't
right
talk
now.
about
It's
that.
fucking gross.
Hey, Katie.
Oh, I know
rock
plenty
the
of
fuck out
MMA
him.
fighters.
Right, I'm getting
Rock
ready to
the
jump.
fuck
I
out
know
of Boston
plenty of
Joe.
MMA fighters
No,
that are
that's
women will
bullshit.
beat Joe's ass.
Oh yeah. Hey,
So
Do you
what
want
I
to
say is,
BJ, you're about to
what
get
I
fucked.
say
Yeah.
is, the difference is that gives hope to anyone born in Massachusetts that they can play rugby.
Say Massachusetts one more time.
Massachusetts.
You sound like Mrs. Brady. Swampscott.
Oh man, if I could be Mrs. Brady,
Well, her husband
I'd
was
give
gay,
$1.
so
I bet-
spoiler alert.
I bet you they
wish
had
I could
to-
be Mrs. I love Tom Brady.
They had to get
I was talking about the Brady Bunch.
They probably had to get the
Brady
fire
Bu-
engine
Yeah.
to
You
pull
didn't
her
specify.
out.
story
You didn't specify.
of a lovely lady. Come on, that's what Mrs.
Of a
Brady
man named Brady.
Tom.
Nobody can understand with your fucking gargled
Yeah,
accent.
yeah.
Sound like-
Between his
Still,
drunkenness
your
and your
gargled accent
stupid
is so
Boston accent,
stupid.
nobody knows what the fuck's going on.
I got a message
Lobster
yesterday,
fucker.
and Eric
Lobster.
said, "Bring an extra liver
I did say bring an extra,
You did.
and your diapers.
and my diapers."
And
I
some
said,
male diapers.
I have an extra liver. I said I have plenty of diapers.
And you
Well,
said
let's-
liver. I hardly know her.
You know what we need to do, Eric? We need to get an MMA fighter on here, a female, and
To
just
fuck
have
me
her-
up?
Yeah, just to
Right?
beat your ass.
I'll
for
take
saying
Ronda
that.
Rousey.
Right?
I'll drop kick that bitch in the teeth. Shout out Ronda Rousey. Come.
Yeah, you'll dream that after
She
she knocks
would
you out.
fucking
I
stomp
just
Austin.
called out Ronda Rousey on this show. Come
I
fight
will
me.
put my life. I will put both my child's tuition on that fight.
What?
Both your childs. Try again.
And both my child's tuition
Hold on,
on
get
that
this guy
fight.
more rum. He definitely needs a little bit more rum. Yeah, this New York guy who can't
Please.
handle his booze. You're speaking for all New Yorkers
Land
out there.
shark over here.
Say it right, land shark.
Land shark.
Dun,
God.
Land
Speaking
shark.
of,
Hey, do you know where
let's,
Jaws was filmed?
Just unplug my.
I'm wicked awesome.
Let's get before this thing
Andy's
gets
over here
way
losing
too
his
out of
fucking
control.
headset.
Let's get a sports
wheels
minute in.
are off.
Buddha, Boston Joe, what do we got going on in the sports world today? What's going on? We got trade
Bye,
deals.
Katie.
What's up? Oh, we'll see you later, beautiful. Am I allowed to say that, or is that sexist?
Your wife's here.
All right,
Mine's not.
Joe.
So let's talk real sports.
Yeah, for a second, but I mean, your wheels are off.
No, the wheels are
Completely
spinning.
off. No,
the wheels are
they
fucking
are
spinning
off.
tonight.
Completely
I think
off.
he's getting flustered with the New York guy on the podcast right here.
You are going to get your ass kicked, not only by a rugby girl, but Ronda Rousey. Go ahead, call her
I know.
out.
I straight up
Call
called
that
her
was
for
dumb.
She
That
would
was just
fucking
dumb.
drop kick me in my teeth.
Ronda
But it's fine.
Rousey is last week. Paige Van Zandt.
Jesse
ever seen
Wiseman
her?
will kick your ass.
Paige
I mean,
Van
she really
Zandt,
can.
though.
I mean,
Jables.
I
Shout out
don't
Jables.
care. I mean, you can like call it all these big people. I'm putting it on like the girl that delivers in the mail. You are fucked.
You're like 120 pounds soaking wet, Buddha.
Is that what you think?
What are you,
Yeah,
121 pounds soaking wet?
Okay.
I'll beat both
Yeah,
your fucking asses. Let's hear some fucking sports updates.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, let's talk
sorry.
about real sports. Enough
Okay,
with the
sorry,
rugby
yeah.
shit for a
Anyone's
minute.
going to get into a UFC fight with a woman, I volunteer myself.
Yeah.
I'd like to be choked out by one of them. I'm not even kidding.
Volunteered myself.
I'm not even kidding. I'd fucking get choked out by one
That's
of
what
them.
it is, man. I mean, BJ just wants to get in there with. It doesn't matter who it is. He just
Look.
wants to wrestle like with. Put a little oil on.
Listen, I throw it over to you. What's
Turn
up?
the lights
Is
on,
Carson Wentz? Is he getting traded? What's up?
He got traded for
Yes.
nothing.
Yeah, he did. So Carson
Nurse.
Wentz. So Carson Wentz, I mean, goes to Indianapolis for a second rounder
And a third.
and a third rounder this upcoming draft, second rounder next season, and if he actually performs, which
I could be a first rounder.
number 2 overall pick. He should
Could be a
fucking
first
perform.
rounder, though.
Now,
That's what I mean. It will be a first rounder. It could be because
will
I mean
be.
Carson
You're
Wentz
absolutely right.
was. I mean, he's a great quarterback, and I just don't
Oh,
understand.
well, slow it down. Slow it down.
No, he was.
take a
No.
back
Slow it
seat,
down.
Giants. Take a back
Slow
seat,
it
Giants.
down.
Yeah. You haven't
Without
seen-
Nick Foles, Carson Wentz is
Oh,
nothing.
Jesus.
Oh,
Stop
my
with
Lord.
the... All right. We're not going to talk about Nick Foles.
No.
Trust me, we're not going to talk about
No,
Nick Foles.
no.
But, you know, you can call me Joe Stradamus because I did call that Carson Wentz was going
Joe
to the
Stradamus.
Indianapolis. Joe Stradamus, baby. You
Oh,
can call
my
me that.
God. You can call yourself that all you want
because
to.
Because I foresaw
You can
in my
keep calling
fortune-
yourself that.
in my ball.
Yeah.
that,
I watched all the Legends here podcast. I've had a lot to drink.
Yeah.
The Legends
Never
podcast
Nostradamus.
here, just because of Boston Joe here.
Yeah, let's go. See?
Kenny said, "Get ready." I said, "I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna watch every podcast."
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
that's what you have to say.
as I was saying,
Okay, back to sports.
Carson Wentz, I had a feeling he was going to Indy because his former OC in Philadelphia when they won that Super Bowl
Exactly.
that time.
So let's talk about
he
this
gets
little.
reunited.
Let's talk about this little theory. Deshaun Watson to
Denver, the Denver Broncos.
Could
I
be
think
Denver.
Deshaun Watson.
It
I
could
think
be
J.J. Watt's
Denver.
going to follow him too.
No,
You think
not
he's
gonna
going to
fucking follow
Pittsburgh?
him. Dude,
But
he's totally going to Pittsburgh.
listen, Denver
What?
has a bunch of young
What?
weapons. They got Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, and they got
They got
a
all
lot
those
going on.
weapons, and they've got like 4 wins in 2
Yeah,
seasons.
but okay, you got
so
Drew
no, they
Lock,
don't
who
have-
is
they
a
don't
poor
have that
man's
much.
Baker Mayfield. Drew Lock, I think.
Yeah, I know.
If they get Deshaun Watson, they're in the Chiefs division, so that's tough. But they're the second best team in that division, and they're a contender right away with Deshaun Watson. 100%. They have a solid core defense. They got great young offensive weapons on the other side of the ball. Deshaun Watson is a game changer
No,
when it
he
comes to
is.
the
I mean,
quarterback position.
I'm so hoping that, like, oh, by the way, the salary cap situation. It's
Salary-
totally messed up.
the salary cap-
180 million. I
No.
mean, that's bullshit.
The
I mean,
cap is bullshit.
I understand it's COVID, but 180 million. I mean, that is. I mean,
I don't believe in the cap. I seriously don't believe in the cap.
You don't
Look at
believe in the cap?
I don't. Look what the
I
Rams
don't.
have done in the past few years, signing people like Jalen Ramsey and getting these huge contracts over and over. And you're like, how are they able to do this? It's because
they're being cap hell for the next 10
what,
years,
though?
just
So-
like the Steelers are right now.
yeah, but
I mean,
so
they're
what?
in cap hell.
If you win 2 Super
Are you
Bowls
guys
in that
done?
cap hell year,
no, absolutely.
oh, you want to talk about Daniel Jones, Danny
No,
Dimes
I
over here?
wanna-
The Giants suck. You want to talk
Yeah.
about that?
Nope. I want
Trot
to talk
Nixon?
I want to talk
You
about
want some
rugby.
Trot Nixon in there?
How about a little
Nixon.
rugby?
Have
Six
you watched
Nations.
the Six Nations?
We're talking
Six
about. We're
Nation,
talking about
Wales.
So we're going to
That's
talk
you,
about
Trot
real
Nixon.
sports.
Let's talk about it. It's a
Six
rugby
Nations.
show. Get fucked your sportsman. It was like 6 minutes long.
wanna talk-
Talking
Okay.
about gymnastics or something.
How about this? We'll just finish.
Right, finish up.
Sports. Sports.
Are you following Six Nations?
Yeah.
Do you guys follow Rugby Six Nations or no?
I
Get
didn't know there was
cultured.
like more than 2 nations.
I thought we were talking sports. Why are we back to
Yeah.
rugby?
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I'm in a room full of rugby
Yeah,
brutes, and I
they
don't
are
give a fuck.
big
okay?
motherfuckers.
Love it.
that
I'll call
I-
you.
love
I'll call you guys out like I
Rugby
called out
is the
Ronda
best.
Rousey.
We actually
You're getting the northern appreciation, but you're still from Boston.
we watched. We watched
Give me
Wales
100%
versus
now.
Ireland today. Wales versus Ireland. Great match. Great match.
No.
Hey, no,
Listen, if you gotta
wasn't
call
a
it a
good If
match,
that
it's
wasn't
not
a
a
good match.
sport.
What are you talking about?
A match? What are we fucking playing tennis
All right.
here?
So now
Wales
Serena Williams is
has
going to
been
kick your
lucky.
ass too, BJ.
Wales has been lucky.
I don't know.
Wales has been lucky.
Who are you taking in Six Nations this year?
Six Nations? So right now, you have France on top.
Yep.
Right, you have France on top. But
France.
the team that's played the best, I think, is Scotland.
Yeah.
I think they have played. I think they've played the best. Wales has played against 2 14-man teams, pretty much at the end of the day.
Right.
But Scotland, at the end of the day,
Did you play in Scotland last year?
Wait, what?
Did you play in Scotland
I
last year?
did not.
I didn't.
I wish I did. I honestly, I had to work, unfortunately. But I wish I did.
I think they're getting ready to go
I
beat
heard
Boston Joe's
stories
ass
about
in the
that trip.
bathroom.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I heard
sure
stories about
he's
that
about to get
trip.
rucked.
Yes.
You can bring a few guys
Let's
on
do it.
that are
Let's go
behind
in.
us right now that could tell you about that trip right now. Where's Gareth?
I think
We're about to do-
your team's getting ready to go ruck
Yeah.
up Joe in the bathroom.
Yeah,
right
he
now.
had to take a pee, and he's
gonna
about
ruck
to get
his
rucked
ass.
in the bathroom right now and figure out
It will be
what rugby is
It will
all
be the
about.
best 30 seconds of Joe's life.
And
Gareth, come on up here, homie. Well, let's get Garrett Davis. He's the captain of the D2 Clayton rugby team.
Get in here.
You played in Scotland last year. We were just talking about Scotland and Six Nations.
Are we best friends?
Brian Anderson's got Scotland picked for the Six Nations. Who you got to pick for this year? Who do you think's taking it all, baby? Get all up in that mic. Talk to it like you love it.
Gargle it.
It's a tough one to say. You know, my team's Ireland, but
Nurse.
They got fucked by Wales.
as much as I hate to say it, probably the fucking French.
Yeah. I mean, they're leading right now.
looking
Fucking
good.
French.
The fucking French are
It's
good.
always the
Let's help
fucking
Brian.
French.
What was your experience like in Scotland? You played how many games did you play in Scotland last year?
I played 3 in Scotland, and the week before I went in for about a week and a half and stayed with my grandma and played in Ireland too.
Okay. How was that? Is it different than here? Or?
Oh, dude, incredibly different.
So you took a bunch of Americans. You took the Clayton Rugby Club. You guys all went over to Scotland. Did you win any of those games, or
yeah,
how did it work out for you?
Steve, was it 2 out of 3 that we won? Scotland? 1-1, 3-1. Yeah, so we tied one, lost one, and won one.
Okay, great. Did you guys have a fucking good trip? Was the socials better here or in Scotland?
Speaking of the socials,
okay,
you should ask Gareth about one particular social back at the hotel room.
Take it to him, baby. Come on, Gareth, get up in the mic. Tell the whole world.
Unique New York. You want to talk about uniqueness?
We're only getting 78,000 downloads. It's not like anybody will really hear this story.
178,000.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're going to go there? You're not going to say it?
No, so we talking about the Asheville trip, or were we talking about?
I wasn't there. I have no idea.
Oh, was it the one where you shit in the shower?
So what I've heard. Bingo.
You shit in the shower?
Do you know what you do after that, though? To get it down, you gotta just pound the shit out of it.
They call that the awful waffle.
Stop it, man.
Yeah,
the waffle stop.
Awful waffle.
Say my first rodeo.
Listen, Gareth, I want you guys. You're the captain of the Clayton Rugby team. Act like it.
I've been saying that for 3 years.
I want to see a boat race. You guys are known to win. Even if you lose the matches, you always win the drinking games after.
Amen.
Explain to the crowd what a boat race is. What is a boat race?
Oh, boat race. So you get an even number of players from each team.
Put your mouth right on that microphone.
You get even number of players from each team. Sit on the ground.
Okay.
You're lion style, just like you're sitting in a boat. You're rowing the boat.
Okay.
Start at the top. First man starts. Chugs his beer. First team to finish wins. It's pretty simple. It's a lot easier done than explained. So
well, listen, we got a video camera. We've got a YouTube channel. Do you think, as the captain of this team, as the leader, as the man in front, do you think you can organize this fucking crew of scallywags behind us? Can you get them to do a boat race for us?
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Fucking make that happen. While he's doing that, Chef Puhak, jump over here and tell us what you got going on. You set it up. Tell me when you're ready. Chef Puhak, jump on this microphone.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's got to wait a minute. He's still working on those fish and chips over there.
Good food takes time.
Good food does take time. Good food does take time. What are you tailgating for this week? Is there any sports games coming up this week?
Well, we're crying over the Red Sox is what we're doing.
Look, let me.
I want to talk about how they molest children in the dugout and they trade away all their best players. And listen, I'm with you when it comes to the Red Sox. I fucking love to hate them at this point. It's like what I was saying. We were talking before the show about it's like being a beaten woman and like, oh well, I shouldn't have burnt my dinner. I'm gonna go back to him.
We did.
Can't fucking help myself.
Honestly, we really did. You're right.
Yeah, but granted, you were around for like 4 of the Yankees World Series, and you're old too.
88. That's when I was born. 88.
So you saw like 4 Yankees World Series, basically.
But we got 27.
I'm going to say 5 just to disagree with you.
As much as you don't want to. That's like me being a Celtics fan and be like, oh, I remember the days of Bill Russell when he won all those championships. No, I don't. I saw Paul Pierce win 1. That was cool. But so, that's the thing. I mean, but the problem is, as a Patriots fan now, I feel like I'm going to become those Cowboys fans, those Yankees fans of the past, where it's like, oh, I remember the glory days, because those days are far behind me now.
Last thing you want to say, I'm going to become a Cowboys fan.
No, I would never do. Unless Brady goes to the Cowboys.
You literally just put yourself in the same category as a Cowboys fan.
Well, I keep it real because Cowboys fans are always like, remember the days, and I know.
Might as well just start wearing knee pads.
Why is who wearing knee pads?
That's all I'm going to say. Again, that's all I'm going to say.
Tansy, control your boys, yeah.
Listen, when you started drinking that instill rum, you all heard me on the sex therapist episode where I had way too much rum.
Which I thought you were going to...
But once that rum gets inside of you, baby, you say whatever fucking happens next. Look, our next episode, while they're getting this boat race, while Chef Puhak's getting ready, I'm going to go ahead and tease next week's episode. I'm not allowed to mention the guest because he doesn't want us to mention him. But yes, we are. That is going to be the Caddyshack Duffers. We might be playing golf with a pro golfer on Tuesday, so let's get ready for that. They won't even let us tell the location. So normally what we do is we pump out this show, we get sponsors and all those things, and then usually an event will pay to have us do the thing of the event. But this particular place is like, no, we don't want anybody to fucking know you're doing it here. We're gonna pay you, but we don't want anybody to fucking know about it. So really exciting show. I'm not a golfer. Are you a golfer?
I want to come. I am a golfer.
You are?
Actually, honestly, you want?
Yeah, honestly, like it's a fucking podcast. We want to be honest.
My cousin, I don't think
you're talking shit. Hold on, you're talking shit about rugby players, and you're not going to get on this boat race, Boston Joe?
I'll fucking do.
Do you even know how to
I
fucking?
thought I was going to spit into this microphone a little bit more.
Because Boston fans can only chug one thing.
I don't know what the fuck a boat is.
Boston fans can chug one thing.
What's that? Rings, championships, success.
Rings?
Yeah, you heard me.
You heard rings?
Yeah, I've seen my football team win 6.
Oh.
1, 2.
Look, we're just about to start this boat race. It's taking forever to get it set up.
Start it up, baby. I'm still plating.
But
12.5 PSI.
Let's go while we're still waiting.
Did you read the Wells report?
Can we do the drinking bro of the week? Boston Joe, let's do a drinking bro of the week.
Oh, you
Brian,
don't want me to do the drinking
Brian,
bro of the
jump in here because you're the guest.
Absolutely.
We do a drinking bro of the week. You can nominate anybody. They have to be alive, but anybody that's meaningful in your career. So anybody, it doesn't fucking matter. Whoever inspires you, whatever. Who is your drinking bro of the week?
So I want to know, what does drinking bro? What do they have to do?
Nothing. It's just people usually follow them on Instagram. They'll fucking give them a shout out, whatever. Facebookies.
You know what? Since this is a rugby podcast.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to say my drinking bro of the week is Ryan Borowski out in Texas.
Ryan Borowski in Texas. Which part of Texas?
Honestly, if I knew, I would.
The frozen part right now?
The frozen part. You're 100% right. He just texted me today. I said how crazy it is, but it's Austin.
Okay, what's his name? Say his name one more time.
Ryan
Austin, which is where our
Borowski.
podcast is out of, Austin, Texas. By the way. Yes. Say his name one more time.
Ryan Borowski.
Ryan Borowski.
So you have the Austin Blacks, a major rugby team.
Yes. Bradley Yandel, who gave me this beautiful rugby ball here. Bradley Yandel, I believe he plays for them.
So he's I believe he's the Austin Huns.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm
like
going to let you know for next podcast.
Okay.
I'm going to double check. But so he's Montauk Rugby Club. Montauk Rugby Club.
Montauk, all the way in Austin.
So Montauk was a major rugby club back in the day. They were part of the MLR.
The Major League Rugby.
Major League Rugby, which is back in the 90s, which was part of ESPN, believe it or not.
Okay.
So we had guys from South Africa, New Zealand, England.
Oh shit! This is getting serious behind us.
So what happened is he moved to Austin,
right?
And he became, I'm going to say he's a coach. I know exactly what he is.
Okay.
He's part of the administrative staff of, I believe, Austin Huns Rugby Club.
All right.
And he's going to be my drinking bro
of
guy of
the week. Listen, we just did our drinking bro of the week. Now these rugby guys are going to do a boat race. It's getting out of control in here. Oh, am I getting involved in this as well? All right, here we go.
I think Boston Joe needs to get in here and use 2 hands.
Listen, we're getting the video. Hang on, we're getting the video camera set up. If you're not on YouTube, you're going to want to go to the YouTubes and watch this. Gareth, where am I sitting? Okay, so I got to get up. I got to leave this microphone. Buddha, come grab this mic. I'm going to leave the microphone. I'm going to get on this boat race, which I don't know why I'm up front because I'm terrible at chugging beer. I got to get in. They want me to get in on this. So you're going to just take the microphone.
I shit myself. I was talking all this shit to these guys. They were laughing.
Okay.
All right, now we got the Boston guys out of here.
All I can see is it's like getting ready to be the world's biggest circle jerk. But Katie is in there. So
let's see how disappointed we can make the people in our lives.
Exactly. Yeah. Fat ball.
I'm married, which is why I'm
ball.
not here.
It's to the fat ball.
Now?
All right, here we go. You
okay.
ready?
This is like some weird. Okay, here we go.
This is a southern thing.
1, 2, 3, go!
Go!
Get cucked. Oh, dude, Joe, you can't just spill it over yourself.
It's going on his
fucking drink it.
Bostoner.
Dude.
He didn't even finish.
DJ.
He didn't even finish.
Hurry up, Joe. Come on, Joe. What the fuck?
Dude.
What's wrong with you, Joe?
Oh, dude, you just spit it all over yourself.
Come on, Tansy. Come on. You make alcohol for a
you
living.
Suck.
You make alcohol
So
for a
bad.
living.
Oh, Gareth is on time. Okay, so the actual rugby players
my
are on
gosh.
time.
The
Yes.
Irishman.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God.
Holy shit. All right.
Okay. So it is the right side.
Come on, Katie.
Row it.
No.
Row that boat.
He's so bad.
Let's go! Second boat race.
Well, that is Drinking Bros Sports Tailgate Legends. Oh my gosh, that was
Are
the
we still
hardest
doing
thing
a
I've ever done.
podcast?
I thought it was best 2 out of 3.
Wait. We're still doing the podcast, right? I want everyone to know I can't chug for shit, clearly.
No, I can't either.
But I cucked Tansy in front of his wife and kids right now when it comes to Tansy.
I just got murdered on that truck. That was some cold beer. What refrigerator was that in? Was that in Austin? Did they just set that outside in Austin?
On the field,
Texas?
Tansy is he's one of the hardest hitters on the field, but off the field chugging.
No, I don't.
He's the worst chugging partner there is.
If he's not,
I'm gonna go back to Camp Lejeune.
If he's not chugging in still
Tell me
rum.
what happened in Lejeune.
So look, okay, I will tell. Part of the match.
That was my best match,
Tansy
I felt
won
like.
man of the match.
I did get man of the match.
He
Yeah.
won a man of the match. Great. I will say, great rugby player.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I give respect. Respect is a great rugby player, and I won male phallic penis of the match with a D.
Dick of the
I'm gonna
match.
say that because of my career.
Yep.
Okay, you can say it for me.
You're a first grade teacher, so I'll say dick of the match
Okay,
for you.
thank you. I'm not gonna say it. You can say it. So
Oh,
I won
shit.
that. I think I won that 15 matches in a row.
Yep.
But I won that. You won.
Yep.
So we had a drink
chug off.
It was man versus
Dick.
thank you of the match. And what happened was Tansy had to finish his beer before I could start mine. Well,
So you waited all day.
fair enough. This guy could not chug for anything.
Ooh, Salt Bay.
I think
Salt Bay. Ooh,
both the guys finished and the whole parking lot emptied before he was done.
Stop, it wasn't
Before
that
he
bad.
was done. But chugging, the worst chugging teammate you could find.
Unless he's chugging in still rum that you can
But
find in
on the field,
Clayton, North Carolina.
This guy's a monster. On the field, this guy's a
Joe,
monster.
you got nothing in your. You were like a fucking gurgling like Catholic girl.
Did I win?
No, you didn't win shit. I mean, you didn't
What?
get anything in your mouth. It was like you did.
Play back the tape.
Okay, no, you did beat Tansy.
I thought,
Okay,
I
but
thought
no,
I saw his
Tansy-
hands go like this.
But Tansy drank the beer. Oh, he totally coddled it. Totally coddled the balls.
honestly, I thought his
Tansy
hands go
finished
like
his
this.
drink.
My
Dude,
eyes
you
are still
dribbled.
watering.
You dribbled. And
we
by the
got
way,
salt
hey,
thrown at us, too.
this is our place, Copper Still Records. You get to do the carpets tomorrow. 'Cause you missed your fucking mouth the entire
Okay, play
time.
back
Oh,
the fucking
yeah,
tape.
baby.
I
Yeah.
cucked Tansy
Yeah.
in
You
front of his
cookie
family.
No,
monster.
it
You
sounds
cookie
like you
monstered that.
didn't.
You cookie monstered that shit. Cookie monster. Cookie monster doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have a throat. He's a fucking muppet, just like you. It just eats shit. Yeah, it just eats shit and it goes everywhere. And that's what you do with your beer. You just want like that. Just pour it out the sides of your mouth.
Listen, I was just
Fucking chest.
I was just trying to do what you were doing in Austin, man.
Oh, called him out.
What do you expect?
Buddha.
What do you expect?
Look,
Everybody,
real
hold
fast
on.
back.
Hold on.
What
Do we need to
happened
bring
was-
your dad into this? I'm just healing up from tearing my labia chasing your dad over a barbed wire fence. Do we need to
That
bring
was
him back in?
that was yes. The labia
Where
I tore the
in
fuck
the
out, but I'm
world-
good
did have
now.
a labia problem. So
Where in the world is Boston Joe's dad?
Boston chases
Look,
second best.
Chef Puak,
Weird.
tell me about what's in front of me right now.
All right.
This looks amazing.
This is what I call a fucking banger. And first of all, my Irish friend earlier was talking about it has to be bland. That's very cultural for the Irish. Very cultural for the Irish. And I made this not bland because I wanted it to be conspiracy cuisine and tailgate legend style, right? So I marinated the fuck out of the tilapia with some dill pickle juice. And like I said, some Yingling lager because I'm from Philadelphia and everything great comes from
Sorry to hear
Philadelphia. Fuck New York and fuck Massachusetts.
Chill.
So I let it go for about 2 hours in the pickle juice, right? And it got all fired up in there. And then the key thing in making good French fries is you par cook them, right? So you cook them in oil at about 275 degrees until they get soft. And then what I opt to do is I freeze them. And then when they're frozen, I keep them frozen, and then I hit them in 375 degree oil. And that's how you get that crisp and that soft interior, kind of like Burger King or whatever those fast food French fries that you like. That's how you get it, right?
Don't Mickey D's.
So being married to a smoking hot Latina, the reason that you see this creamy sauce over here is it's called salsa golf, which means golf sauce. And it's basically a mix of Worcestershire, or however the fuck you're supposed to say that. Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire
in addition
sauce.
to ketchup and mayonnaise, right? And it's good. And it's on the French fries. And we put some malt vinegar on the fish because that's the only thing that people in Ireland think has flavor. So I put it on there for my Irish friend back there. And we're rocking and rolling.
Look, baby, if you're eating fish and chips, you're not supposed to use a fork. You're supposed to use your fingers, Boston Joe, you uncultured fuck. God. Look, Brian's got it right. At least something from fucking New York.
I don't want to get Noel's microphones all slimy.
I've been a long-time listener, first-time guest, and there's two things
Is this Rush Limbaugh?
I've been excited for. Those two things. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, old Rush.
Two things I've been excited for was to talk shit to Boston Joe.
Okay.
And taste Philadelphia here.
Yeah.
Philadelphia
I wanted to talk shit to both of you.
I just gave you a mouthful,
Both
baby.
of us?
But
Hey, Joe.
This food is honestly pretty. It's pretty good. That's all you're gonna get out of me. It's pretty good.
Chef Joe, the pickle juice.
Pretty good from New York standard. You know what that means.
I love the pickle juice.
Really good.
The pickle juice for chicken wings
It's very good.
Yeah.
works the same
That's a
way.
thing.
If you love that Chick-fil-A vibe, that's how you get it. If you want that in your wings, brine them in pickle juice.
And it tenderizes. Noel's totally right, and it tenderizes the heck out of the meat. And when you do brine it, it essentially forces more moisture and salt into the meat, and it doesn't dry out. You know, I know I've said this on a previous episode. When people have dry ass meat, or you cook something that's really dry, you're like, "Fuck, I'm never going to do that again." If you wet brine or dry brine, it makes your meat better. Anyways,
Bobcat.
wet brine. I think that's
Tell
how you
me
were
more
born,
how I
isn't
can
it?
make my meat better.
Make your meat better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tenderize that meat.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Speaking of tender meat, I can't wait to rage with these rugby guys behind us.
Because we just did. We did some fucking boat thing. I don't even know what that was.
If you want honesty out of the Irish, ask Scottish. That's what they say. So this is amazing. This is very good.
Oh, it's so good.
Know what my grandmother used to say?
That means a lot coming from a shitty
I'm
New Yorker.
disappointed in you.
No, she'd say,
Okay.
an Irish flag is a dirty old rag.
Oh, is that what you...
He's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I think Stu's going to come over and beat you
Tomato,
up.
tomato, potato, potato.
Hey, Boston Joe, what did your dad used to say to you?
Ready? This is what he said. Ready? He went,
That.
Silence, baby.
No, he
Because you
said,
didn't have a fucking father.
Let's find him
No,
and
he
beat
said-
We
his
might as well
ass.
call you Boston Snow.
hey, no. No, you know what he said? He said, I'm going to get cigarettes. See you in a minute.
and he never came back.
There's been a few times I was proud of being Tansy's friend, and that was one of them.
Guys, listen, this is Drinking Bro Sports. Tailgate Legends, where we get to tailgate and get fucked up with some legends. We had a great time partying with you, rugby animals. Brian Anderson, thank you so much. Boston Joe,
Thank you for
Chef
having me.
Puhak, Conspiracy Cuisine, crushing the fucking food. Love it,
brother.
love every minute. I hope you guys had a good time. Join us next week. Undisclosed location. We can't even tell you.
Yeah, it's gonna be
never
it's gonna
mind.
be a golf episode, pretty much like a caddy.
Oh, we're gonna fucking
shack.
rage on the golf course, baby.
It
Don't
will
think I'm
not be
holding
good.
back.
It will not be
Don't you
good.
think I'm holding back?
We are gonna wear like extra small polo shirts and play golf with our tattoos hanging out.
Hey.
in a
Fucking
very
with my
exclusive golf
dicks
club.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Your tramp
you
stamp's
don't know
gonna
what's
be
gonna
out?
happen.
Yes, my tramp stamp. He's
Your
the one with the tramp
bullseye.
stamp. I didn't.
Oh,
that's his bullseye.
Now, only one of us has a
listened
tramp
to the
stamp,
Hangover
though.
Yes.
It's safe to say. Only one of us has a tramp
we
stamp.
learned what that was in Austin.
Listen, I
we learned what it
listened-
was
The
in
shirt will
Austin.
be long enough to cover the fucking tramp stamp.
No, man,
Just
let it
long
hang out,
enough.
bro. Let it hang out.
Hangover
If I have to,
podcast.
I'll put tape on
I am
it.
intrigued. I am so intrigued
Yeah.
for the next podcast.
Oh yeah.
So then tune in next week on another episode.
I will be 100%. I will be putting
Shut
my
up.
kids to sleep and listening intently.
Hey, Buddha, why don't we close the show out with you getting in front of the camera and showing us your tramp stamp?
Tramp stamp. Tramp stamp. Tramp stamp. Tramp stamp.
No.
Tramp stamp.
No.
Pussy
No.
fucking bitch. Tramp stamp.
Okay.
The
For
people
all
have
you
spoken.
fake- for all
Dump
you-
it
for
out.
all your
Dump
fake
it out.
For all you fake followers, it's out there. The fake followers on the Super Bowl.
Oh, you got to go back and look for
Live.
it.
Yeah, go back and look for it. It's
I
there.
think we need to name the tattoo. Let's give it a cute name right now.
How about
Right
fuck
now.
you, Poohawk? Yeah, that's a great
How
name.
about I get cucked?
Get cucked. Perfect.
Get fucking cucked. Let's go. Until next time. I can't believe I just said that bullshit.
Let's go.
This is Chicken Bro Sports Tailgate Legends. Cheers, motherfuckers.